Hey guys, what's going on? It's Laura and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you guys decided to watch today. Today is the final part in my hiring process series of being a 911 dispatcher. So I've taken you from the Rudy and we're going now to the Tootie, the very end. If you made it this far in the process, you're pretty much in there, provided that everything else goes well. So if you're interested in hearing about the physical and the psychological exam, then definitely stay tuned. Okay guys, so let's get right to it. First of all, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching my videos and subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, then go ahead and do that now, and also press the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I drop a video. Okay. So today I wanted to talk to you about the final steps of the hiring process to becoming a 911 dispatcher. The last two things that I did were my physical and the psychological exam. Two both very different things. Two things that you can't really prepare for, you can't really study for, but two things that there isn't really any information out there on, so I'm gonna just let you know what I know. So first things first, let's talk about the psychological exam. The psychological exam is pretty lengthy. My process, again, I've done this twice, and both times it was the exact same process. I was set up or given a time to go to a business office. The office that I went to was a psychiatrist office. It had a couple of different psychiatrists and psychologists there. And then there also was like a testing room. And so I went into a room. There was about maybe 8 or 9 other people testing as well. They're from different areas of law enforcement. Some were looking to be police officers. Some were interested as well as being dispatchers and also firefighters. I think all of the law enforcement organizations have to do, something similar just to make sure that your mind is right for what you're about to do. So I went into this room, and the test administrator, she came in. She gave each one of us about 5 different booklets, 5 different like Scantrons. So for one booklet, you probably needed, a different answer sheet is basically what it was. And also gave us a couple of pencils. They also told us in the email prior to us coming to take the test that we needed to bring a pencil with us, but they also gave us pencils just for those that didn't quite come prepared. Okay. So after that, they said we could go ahead and begin, that we had a certain amount of time to finish the test, but none of the tests specifically were timed. So this is not, well, the last time I did it wasn't my first time doing it, so I knew what to expect. So some of the questions, or like pretty much all of the questions, are true and false. It's either, and they're not like regular questions. They're more weird, questions like, I have a good relationship with my parents. True or false? So it's things like that. True or false? My sex life is satisfactory. True or false? I have black stool. So there are questions like that, and so based on the answers to your questions, I think you get some type of a score, or they do some type of aptitude to see how you react to certain situations. There's also was a test to say, would you rather do this or would you rather do that? And then you fill in, the answer choice of which one of those you would rather do. So it's just something really basic, really simple like that. There aren't any questions that are going to cause you to think too hard. And I would even suggest to not overthink your answers in this test. It's just a psychological, I say just, but it's a psychological test to make sure that you're fit for the job. Now, if you're not fit for the job, and in your mind, you know that you're not fit for the job, I personally wouldn't go even and take the test because it's a waste of your time. It's a waste of the city or the agency's resources. So if you know that mentally you have been through some things that, maybe a 911 call might trigger those things. I would suggest that you try to get yourself together and really work on yourself before you become a dispatcher, because those things might come up in your job, and so it's important to kind of know what your triggers, if you would be. So those are some of the questions with the psychological test. Like I said, I can't remember all of them. I know that there were over like 500 questions. One of the tests had a bunch of questions, like a couple of hundred questions on it. But again, they're all fairly simple questions. You have a few hours to finish the psychological test. I didn't take all of the time to finish mine. Like, I'm like one of those haste people. I like to get it done. I want to be first finished if I can, so I can get out of there. And I think I was like maybe the second or third finished with my all of my testing. Then I had to go and meet with the psychiatrist, and in the meeting with her, she just, asked me some questions about my life and why I wanted to be a 911 dispatcher. That is something that they will ask you in your psychological examination. They're going to say, why do you want this job? Like, what is it about this job that really is like, this is what I want to do? And for me, it was simple. I feel called to serve people or to help people. And I feel like if I'm not doing that, that I'm not fulfilling the calling that God has put on my life. And so I wanted to do something where I knew that every single day that I was there, I would help somebody and I could feel fulfilled. Like, I could feel like I answered that call every day. And so that's what I told her in the job, and I got it. You finish the psychological, the meeting with the psychiatrist, and then, they let you know afterwards. I think that I didn't have any, red flags or anything like that. So it didn't take much time after I left there for them to let me know that I was moving on to the next step, which was the physical. Now, the physical is where you'll do your drug screen, or that at least is where I did my drug screen. So just know that if you are in the phase where you are doing the physical, more than likely that is going to be when you do your drug screen. I know a few people have asked me that, and I'll get into that a little bit as I talk about the physical. The physical isn't hard. It's not like, a police officer or anything like that where you have to be like in a certain physical condition. So you can be plus size like your girl here. That's okay. So one of the things that they do when you first get there, obviously, they check your weight, they check your height, and then they just kind of check to make sure that everything was good in my body. So I had to, check my spine, check, my reflexes, like a basic physical exam. If you've ever gone to your doctor, which I hope you have, hope so. You ever go to the doctor's office for your yearly physical, it's very similar to that. They don't do, except they don't take your blood. So then you do an eye exam. Everybody, I hope, knows what a basic eye exam is. You stand on the line. Usually, like mine was at a place called Concentra. Both times, actually, was at Concentra. And so, no, the first one wasn't at Concentra, but the second one was. You just basically stand on the line and you read the eye charts. Now, what I will suggest is that if you wear any type of corrective lenses, glasses, contact lenses, be sure to bring those when you come to your visit, because you need to have a certain vision corrected. So me personally, I have really, really bad vision. My eyesight is horrible. But I wore my contact lenses, and because I wore my contact lenses, I was able to see with the numbers or the letters that I needed to see, and my vision was corrected to the point that it needed to be corrected. If I didn't have that, then I wouldn't have passed that portion of the physical, and I wouldn't have been able to get the job. So it's very imperative that when you go and take that test, if you wear glasses or contacts, please bring them. Even if you don't normally wear them, if they enhance your vision and help you to see distance, then you need to bring them so that you can see 20/20 vision or 20/40, whatever the requirement is, for sure. Then you do a hearing test. So both hearing tests were exactly the same. I went inside like almost like a soundproof room. They put on headphones, and every time I heard the beep, I had to press a button. So you would hear a beep, woo, press the button, woo, press the button. Sometimes it'll be in your other ear, woo, press the button. And it's different pitches, different tones. Some are high, some are low. You just want to make sure you can hear. You want to make sure you can hear different sounds, different decibels of sounds and things like that. So if you have problems hearing, again, you might want to make sure that, you know, everything is a-okay before you take the test. And then the last thing is the drug screen. I did for both agencies that I've worked or that I apply with, you do a urinalysis, P test. So, you know, I know that there are those who do the things that they do, and if for some reason you do those things, just know that it's a urine test, and that's what it is. I haven't really heard of any agencies doing mouth swabs or hair follicle tests or anything like that. I don't know. And I also know that a lot of agencies do randomly drug tests. I mean, that is something that you are subject to. So just know that if this is the type of job you are looking for, you're going to be a dispatcher, that, you know, you will more than likely be randomly tested randomly. I personally, as a dispatcher, was never randomly tested, but that was just me. So you never know. So just be careful with those types of things. So if you made it through those two steps, you are pretty solid. The last thing I did after that was met with our operations manager, where he basically said, welcome to the team, gave me my start date, and I was officially ready to be a 911 dispatcher. So guys, that's the end of the hiring process series. Again, if you've made it this far, you're pretty much in there like swimwear, okay? So good luck with your career as a 911 dispatcher. I really hope that it is fulfilling, that it is rewarding, and that not only do you, you know, hear those bad things, but that you really do hear those stories that will touch your heart. Some of those things that will make you feel good, or know that you've done a good thing and that you helped save somebody's life. And that's the thought that I had every day when I left there. I know I made a difference. Even if somebody died that night, I know that somebody else lived, and it was because I helped them. So just try to remember those things. Try not to take stuff home with you. That's the purpose, the beauty of this job, is that it stays at the job. So good luck with everything, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Also, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, remember to click the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post a video. Love you guys, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.